towards the labor exists, which means that it now wants to use more labor. Okay, and the reason is very simple: labor has become more uh, productive. Okay, because it is capital saving technical terms. Fine, but then since the sector M sector is capital intensive in nature, so therefore, following technical progress, when it goes to produce more, it requires more capital than labor. Okay, there is no denying that labor has become more productive, but then the sector is capital intensive. That is something that you have to remember. Okay, so because the sector is capital intensive in nature, so in order to increase their scale of production, volume of production, they requires both labor and capital. There is no denying, but then they require probably more amount of capital than labor. So because of this increased demand for capital, okay, the factor price ratio line will change. It will change in a manner which will make capital more expensive relatively. Okay. Now someone might argue that why it is so that uh, productivity of labor has increased but the price of capital has uh, risen. Okay. You have to understand that price of any factors of production is determined by a number of variables. Okay, one of those variable is demand. So you have to look at the scenario from the viewpoint of demand also. This time labor has become more productive, fine, but then the sector which has experienced this technical progress is actually capital intensive in nature, so it cannot change its nature uh, within a very short period of time. Okay, so it is not possible for the manufacturing sector to change all its character and turn into a labor intensive sector. It is still a capital intensive sector. So since it is capital intensive sector, it will now, whenever it wants to produce more, it would require more capital. Okay, and and this creates an additional demand for capital in the economy. When there is additional demand for capital in the economy, uh, keeping the total resources constant, the price of capital increases, and this is reflected by our new line, that is P2. I forgot to give the other name. P2 you can give it.